Hi, I'm Julian Jackson with the J Prime Realty Group of LPT Realty, and today I wanted to share with you why I chose LPT Realty and why my team is a little different, if not a lot different for some people when it comes to learning the basics about real estate and growing to a place where we can set you up for life. When I first got started here with LPT, it was right after I set up my own brokerage and realized that there was just too much going on administratively, and I didn't have all the free time I wanted. I ended up taking away a lot of time for administrative work that I just didn't want to do. I wasn't able to do any training. I wasn't able to do any seminars. I wasn't able to do any of the fun stuff, put together programs and courses. So I just got too overwhelmed with stuff. So I was like, no, that's too much. And because of that, I want to do something that would free me up. And after I saw the presentation with LPT, it took me literally 4 days to make a decision, and I switched. Primarily because of what you see right here. This is why it's the fastest growing brokerage in history. There's no sign-up fees, believe it or not, no monthly fees. So the sign-up fee that you may have to have, there's an option to pay for a setup fee for Lofty. But other than that, there's no sign-up fee to get started with the brokerage. There's no monthly fee to be with the brokerage. It's a $500 annual fee paid from your first transaction. And then all transactions have a $195 transaction fee. So basically every transaction you do outside of the first one for each annual year, it's $695, but you can charge $195 that transaction fee to your client if you choose. We like to rebate it back to our clients and cover it for them. In addition to that, there was 100% commission. So there's two plans. You have the one that pays, basically LPT retains $500 per file with a $5,000 annual cap. So you do 10 deals at $500, and that comes in handy. Of course, if someone is closing really large deals and only having to spend $500 per file plus $195, then you're in pretty good shape. The annual cap, you can get $11K plus the tech stuff. So all that stuff is covered. Recruiting assist, which the company actually helps you recruit by sending out marketing material to an agent that was across the table from you. I believe it goes for about a year, but they're reaching out trying to let that other person know if you like what you saw across the table from you in the closing transaction and you like all the information that they were able to share, all the marketing material that we're able to share, and you want to be part of this company, reach out to us. And if they're successful in recruiting them, they will go into your downline automatically. Then, of course, there's the stock grants. If you think about stock, I mean, so any of these cloud-based brokerages that has stock, it's a definite benefit. At a certain point, the stock's going to be worth a lot of money. We're pre-IPO. So if you're getting stock now, by the time the company opens at a certain number, who knows what it'll be. But if you have 1,000 shares and it opens at $10, that's $10,000. But that's what you got to be thinking. Like, is now the time? Yeah, the other brokers, when people jumped in prior to the company going public, and in the beginning when it went public, it ended up going way higher than they expected, and a lot of good things happened for those people. Well, timing is everything, and the time is right now. The value proposition with LPT is exactly that. Like, it's moving faster. It's projected to do better. A lot of projections are going on, but again, we can't make any guarantees. It's just a matter of timing and understanding where we are right now. So if you understand that, then you know that having more options is better. The main reason we have the $500 plan is for retention. People who start with the company may not necessarily go to these other companies that have $500 flat fees because they wouldn't be giving up. They wouldn't be gaining anything to go somewhere else with a $500 fee, especially if they're charging more and they have a higher cap. So that will be one of the things that I noticed as well. So I just made the switch because I was like, well, shoot, I don't have to give up any money. It's no transaction. There's no sign-up fees. There's no monthly fees. And I only have to pay if I close my first deal. Then I'll start paying after that. I'm like, great. Then all my team members would feel the same way. They don't have to worry about making the change and having to dish out more money to make a switch. So that was number one. So I say test drive it. Don't burn any bridges. Check it out. See what's going on. And then there's the rev share partner, 80-20 split with a $15,000 cap. So you can earn rev share. You won't be able to earn the rev share until you switch to the rev share partner plan, but you can see it growing under the $500 flat fee. So the one benefit to this program, the hybrid share, is that we're getting paid on the 100% commission plan and the rev share plan. But you have to be in the rev share plan to collect it, and you only start making the money in your pocket after your cap is paid. So once your team grows large enough to be producing $15,000, then you start collecting the rest after that each year. And the bigger your team grows, the better. So it's 7 levels deep. So the requirements for people on the first level in order to open up the other levels is a lot lower. I think the max to get all 7 levels open is 20 direct recruits. If you recruit 20 on your first level and after they close a deal, then you're able to collect on the rev share. Then there's retirement wealth. You continue to earn in your life after real estate and pass the wealth on to your family. So it's an inheritable asset. There's company ownership, again, for each milestone that you reach or agent that you sponsor. And once they close a deal, you're going to get awarded stock. And that's a really good thing. And then, of course, you earn rev share when agents in the downline close their first eligible transaction. Now, it says overview here, but I'm doing this is actually a recorded version of the overview or LPT explain. Now, I want to jump into this also about J Prime Realty Group. So as a coach and a trainer for years, I was a military instructor pilot at the schoolhouse teaching brand new pilots how to fly helicopters. And I always thought if I was going to teach training for people, I want to teach it in a way in which if your life depended on it, it would work for you. That's how I teach. And if you get the other video or the part of the video where I talk about the orientation on exactly what our 52-week digital roadmap looks like, I think you'll see exactly why the training that we provide is just so much better than what you're going to get everywhere else. And it goes in a lot more detail. And we also have a mastermind that we meet once a week just to make sure we enforce that point. And of course, the newer you are, the more access you have to me. And we'll get into those different plans here in a minute. For instance, Team J Prime, and there's Jackson Coaching Systems. Well, my team members automatically get the training that I provide in my coaching programs for people that are not with LPT and not with J Prime. So these are the domination systems that I go over. It's the listing agent domination system, the new build and relocation domination system, buyer agent domination systems, and of course the commercial leasing made easy. So I'll touch a little bit here on commercial. Anyone who's looking to do commercial, we're only looking for like 1 or 2 agents in each city where they can start with us. I will literally teach you how to do commercial leasing like a badass. And one of the great things about me going to your city is what I've learned is I picked up maybe every time I do the training, I pick up at least 1 new agent that is going to refer me business that may not even join my team. They just send the business because I'm going to pay them a 20% referral fee. I've paid out $2,000 referral fees, $2,500 referral fees, which tells you for pretty decent sized leases, you're going to get pretty decent money to be able to give 20% away at $2,000. So if you think about that, that's a $10,000 deal. I'm giving away $2,000 for someone who referred me a deal. Well, if you're in the city that I'm not in, like San Antonio, or I'm in San Antonio. So if I'm not in Austin, I'm not in Houston, I'm not in Dallas, or I'm not in some of these other cities, if you're my point of contact on the ground there, once I train you how to do this, there's a training program that I have. I'm going to walk you through it. And once I get you through that program, then when I come to town and I do these presentations to other agents that are local, you're going to be their point of contact. You're going to pick up those deals, and we'll figure out our split based on, how much we're going to give up 20% to them. And of course, whatever's left over, we come up with a split based on how far along you are in the training. And the training is pretty thorough. But in addition to that, I'm also going to help you become a new build specialist in that area. New builds are a little bit easier to work. Once you go into contract, the sales counselor takes over. They pretty much serve as your transaction coordinator, and they keep you informed and your client informed. Everybody's informed the way a transaction coordinator would do it. I would still highly recommend using the transaction coordinator even with new builds, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen, especially if it's a custom build. Now, some of these production builders, maybe not so much, but if it's custom or even semi-custom, there's a lot of things that could change. A lot of updates need to be made. They have separate lender than the company itself. A lot of these production builders, they have the lender and the construction all in one in the title. So it's a little bit more streamlined, but you can make that call. I'll teach you how to make that call by working commercial and new builds together. Now, the beauty of having the new build as well is that you're going to be a stronger listing agent. Why? Because if you start marketing certain price new builds, not necessarily the first time homeowner type, but maybe in a city like Austin, $500,000, if you're marketing $500,000 new builds, doing open houses at $500,000 new builds, doing videos at $500,000 new builds, you're going to attract certain type of people that have probably owned the house already. So they're not going to be first-time homeowners. They're going to be people that are looking to maybe move up or downsize. So if they're move-up buyers or downsize buyers, empty nesters, someone that's family is growing, their kids are now going to high school instead of elementary, they just need more room, then yeah, it's probably time to start marketing for new builds. And if they have a house to sell, you're going to get the listing too. Now, I always tell people you can't be a new build specialist without knowing how to master the buyer process. And as I go through the orientation If you watch that other video, you'll see exactly how we do that, how to make sure you're an expert in all those areas. It's an hour-long video, but I'll make sure to include that so you have a chance to look at it. Also, there's a 3-minute video for LPT that goes through all the stuff I talked about here earlier, but it's just a video that'll walk you through in much more dynamic fashion than I can possibly do. It's a very professionally made video, but it covers all the details, shows you all the marketing that we have, all the stuff that you're going to get when you're an LPT agent, how to help you win those listings. In addition to the stuff that I teach, I want to make sure that you understand what you need to do, how you need to do it, but the materials you get from LPT are going to clinch the deal for you. And that's what we want. Now, being part of the J Prime Realty Group, we want you to be a dynamic agent. And in our mastermind, we combine our team meetings with our mastermind. So I have paid coaching clients and I have my team together now, and we share stories every week. So the beauty of doing this is when you join, it doesn't matter which week you join. There's a 7-day boot camp you got to finish, but you need to get it done. But while you're doing that, every Thursday from 10 to 10:45, we're just sharing wins and going over the next week's assignment. And you're learning from everyone sharing their wins. So it's not going to matter if you started yesterday or 100 days ago. Whatever assignment you're on, everyone's waiting to hear your victory. They want to hear your win. You may be recording the video from week 1, and they may be recording the video from week 18. Doesn't matter. Whatever victory you have, whatever win you got for doing that assignment, we want to hear about it. And the beauty of it is you're going to start generating leads. And if you follow what's going on in the orientation, what I share for that hour-long video, that's what the mindset you got to have. Once you have the right mindset, this stuff works. One of our best mastermind agents, Esmeralda, she started with the program, and within the first video she recorded, she almost doubled her business within 3 to 5 weeks. She had 11 homes under contract, and she's like, it feels like I'm slowing down and becoming stagnant. Within 3 to 5 weeks, I believe, she picked up another 11 or so clients just from recording one video and sharing it. And she said she was shocked. She couldn't believe that just recording that one video gave her friends, family member, her sphere of influence. She sent it out to 10 people, and they shared it with their friends and family. And all of a sudden, she started getting referrals from everywhere because they watched her video and said, well, shoot, yeah, we know a lot of people that would love to work with someone that we trust. And we know you know your stuff. We watched this video. It actually shows that you're sincere, you care, blah, blah, blah. And it's like what I call the Hello World video. You record it. We give you a teleprompter app. You just read it off your phone, put the phone on a tripod. And of course, you're going to look fantastic. And even if you do it once or twice, you don't need to do a whole lot of takes because you're basically reading the teleprompter just like the politicians do. So you watch this video here. It's like just under 20 minutes, but it's a great video. And it talks about her wins. I interviewed her for her to share exactly what happened. You can hear her whole story right here. This is also another agent that I brought on board. She was a team leader like myself. We've known each other for years. She's been in a lot of my training, and she finally said, hey, I was going through the exact same thing you were going through. And shoot, once I saw the presentation with you, it was kind of mind blowing. She was like, man, I'm just going to switch. It took her about a week to make the decision too. She said, I'm going to give up all this extra administrative stuff and just go ahead and make the switch because I think I can do better with letting them handle all the administrative, all the onboarding, all of this stuff. And then from there, I can focus on real estate. She made the switch. And of course, she loves it as well because she is really good at listings. And so she has all the information you could possibly want as a listing agent to make it work. All right. And then here we go with exactly what we're talking about. Typically on Fridays, we have an overview. I will say the orientation's at 9:30, and then the overview is from 10:30 to 11. So this is what I'm going through right now. This is a recorded version of it, but you get to see exactly what we cover. And if you can make it on those days, you can do a live question and answer. But the key really is to learn what we're about to share with you right now. So this is a supplemental team agreement. I want everyone to know exactly what they're signing up for. But the purpose of joining the group versus just joining the LPT is because you want to have access to a subject matter expert in real estate, finance, compliance, negotiations, branding, lead generation, appointment setting, offer management, transaction tracking, performance optimization, personal development in residential and commercial real estate. So I can become your one-stop shop. And again, if you look at the orientation video, you're going to see just how much value that brings. A lot of times we're going to offer discounts on my coaching systems, 90 to 100% discounts. Some of the stuff I'm going to offer you free that I charge other people quite a bit more if they're not part of the team. LPT Realty fees. If you're an independent entrepreneur, then you may not want to join the team, but you can still be part of LPT. And of course, we can accommodate that. If you're a team leader, I'll also teach you agent attraction training. There's several trainings that I've attended, and I'm pretty good at recruiting. If you want to put your focus into that, yeah, you got to learn how to focus on that. If you're going to try to do production and recruit, it's kind of difficult. Commercial apprentice. Well, if you want to learn a commercial, here's kind of the structure that we set up. We start off with a 25% referral fee when you bring in leads, with the privilege of shadowing me on the first transaction. And I try, if it's, let's say it's a $10 million deal, I'm not going to ask for more than like 25,000 on that first one, probably on any. But if you have a lot of deals like that, the less amount of work I do, the less I'm going to accept. So once you've gotten through the training and you kind of understand what you're going to be doing, we're primarily going to be setting appointments and acting as a transaction coordinator for commercial. That's the easiest way to make you an apprentice. You set the appointments, you track the paperwork, you put us all in the group text, make sure that you're basically doing the same thing a sales counsel would do in a trails for new builds, and the same thing that a transaction coordinator would do if they were coordinating the transaction, except you have us in a text message, all the emails. I need to be included on everything. But we go through the training on how to do this. And then once you become an independent entrepreneur, in addition to what you have to pay to LPT, then you'll also pay the 10% to J Prime Realty Group or me as a team leader. So I probably should move that third bullet into the next column, because it really isn't LPT fees only. That's only for team leaders and independent entrepreneurs who may or may not want to be on a team. Well, they're not going to be on a team. They're independents. They pretty much only look to me for very minimal amount of help, if at all. Now, if you're part of J Prime Realty Group, then the commission splits are a little bit different. I'll start here at the bottom and work our way up, because what's really going to happen is if you're a mentee and in the mentorship program, pretty much everywhere I've been, it's been 30, 30, 30 for the first 3 deals. I personally just don't think it requires all that. If I teach you how to do really well on the first deal, I shouldn't have to do as much work on the second. And if I'm not doing as much work, I probably shouldn't get paid as much. Now, that can also not be true. If there's situations where I feel like I'm doing as much work on the second and third, we're going to bump that up to 70% and sometimes more. If I'm giving you team leads, you're probably not going to collect very much at all, because a team lead and mentoring at the same time, just not really a good idea. There's really no work you're doing, because you're not marketing for the lead and you're basically getting my guidance. So it's almost like I'm putting extra weight on my back and carrying it and then paying you for it. That'd be like someone paying you to go to college instead of you paying the tuition for the instructors. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. So you got to bring something for us to split, something to pay. If you don't have a tuition to pay, then you have to bring a deal to pay your coach. So it's 70 on the first one, 80 on the next one, and then 90% on the third. Then you have to have 3 closings. Once you get to the 3 closings, typically on the same side, I want to make sure people understand that. If you have 1 listing and 2 buyers, we're pretty good. If you have 2 listings, 1 buyer, then we're good. But if you haven't done both sides of the deal, then the next deal you do at that level will probably be 30%. And there will be some exceptions. I know a lot of people can pick this stuff up faster than others, but the least you need me, the less you need me, the more you're going to get. The big thing here is I want people to understand is when you're going through the competency training that I offer, you're going to have to take a little exam. But members who are required mentoring or have less than 3 closings in the last 12 months will receive the split for each side of the transaction. They need assistance starting the contract or close process, or contract to close process, and learning the process, transaction coordinating, loop the paperwork, or performing a new type of real estate activity, especially in your first 2 years as a salesperson apprentice. When it comes to Texas and Trek, that's exactly what's happening. You're an apprentice your first couple of years. A lot of people don't know that. And that means that you need to have help. They did change the rule recently. What you see here, 535.2, broker responsibility. It basically states that they've increased the minimum number of times a sales agent who performs a new type of real estate brokerage activity, like if you want to learn how to do pre-foreclosures, or you want to learn how to do this other type of real estate, or potentially doing real estate in another city that you don't know very much about, you're not geographically competent, then you probably shouldn't be doing those transactions until you've had training. Well, it used to be if you did 1 deal, they considered you competent. But now they're saying, nope, you got to do 3 deals of a new type of real estate in order to be considered competent. And anyone who violates that, obviously that's a liability issue for your team leader, a liability issue for your brokerage, and you don't want to run into those situations. Now, if you're requesting help on how to start a transaction type that you've never done before, then you're not obviously a subject matter or geographically competent in that area in accordance with 535.2. You must get coaching or assistance, mentoring. As a mentee, the split requiring additional mentoring beyond the original training will be a minimum of 20%. So like I said, some people, after they've done enough transactions, the correlation is there, so you get 20. But if you still need my help, of course, the more help you need, the more I'm going to charge. Some training is extremely specialized, and the split will be determined based on the agent's level of competency, based on the mentor's assessment, i.e. commercial real estate. So I've already walked you through that portion, but that's the mentorship split. Now, once you've gotten through the mentorship program, then it's post-apprenticeship requirements. Agents will receive 90% of the next 3 transactions with at least one on each side. For each side not completed, it'll be 20%, then 10% split. Now, for all the agents that have determined that, hey, I love the idea that I have someone that can be there for me, but 10% kind of seems steep after a certain point because I'm not asking you for much help at all. Perfect. Then we go to what we call a 95% lifetime loyalty split. Giving me 5% of a $10,000 deal is $500. You pay me less than you'll pay the brokerage, even though you're coming to my meetings every single week and you have access to me whenever you need. But what I want you to understand is the split is designed for seasoned team members over 2 years or 5 transactions prior to joining the team that are looking for closing solutions. That's pretty much it. You should be able to do everything, and then you come to me because maybe you're stuck trying to figure out why this is tough. I can't figure out how to close it. What do we need to do? Then you come to me and I can help you out. If you're not familiar with starting a type of real estate activity, please reference 535.2. This is to ensure we don't open the brokerage to additional liability or void the E&O requirements set by the brokerage. Team members who have achieved a minimum of 3 closings with at least 1 closing on each side, buyer and seller, with the team and no assistance on starting the contract to close process. That's what we're looking for here. Transaction coordinating, loop paperwork, that's what I consider the closing process and learning those basics. But you will qualify for the 95.5 lifetime team split and receive the advanced coaching and the mastermind. So the mastermind is all about accountability, having someone to bounce ideas off of, how to shorten the learning curve and things of that nature. So we want to make sure that you're looking at it from that perspective and realize the value that you're getting. When it comes to team leads, I don't really offer a whole lot of team leads, but once I see that you're doing really well and we have the leads to give, I'm going to hand them off to you. We do a virtual open house that brings in leads. I teach you how to generate more leads than you'll probably ever need. But again, you have to be confident enough to know how to get the paperwork signed before you want to generate a lot of leads. I call that learning how to land before you take off. If you don't know how to land, you probably shouldn't take off. If you don't know how to close deals and get signatures on contracts, then you probably shouldn't be getting a whole bunch of leads, because you'll throw a lot of opportunities away and you'll think it's a system when it's actually you. And when you go through the orientation, I walk you through that entire process when you see that video. Then there's a Fast Start Online Bootcamp video library. This has now been converted to the mastermind. You will learn the blast off blueprint. You will learn competent negotiations. You will learn real estate financing and alternatives. Then you'll get the advanced coaching. You'll learn the L2L listing marketing, your own client success video coaching series, your social media branding, master lead generation, scientific farming and ultimate open house, listing success bootcamp, strategic partnerships in digital farming, first time home seller workshop, the for sale by owner training, homeowner and seller workshops. Everything you possibly think of, we have it. We can teach it. And the things that you can go out and learn on your own, that's absolutely up to you. But you can bounce those ideas off of me and I'll tell you what I think it's worth to you and what you might want to focus on instead, or if it's a good idea. But the performance requirements, commission splits are based on how much assistance you need with appointment to close process. Must attend weekly sales meetings, trainings, and events as much as possible. As per Trek, all salesperson's apprentice first 2 years as an agent must receive supervision on completing tasks until able to demonstrate subject matter and geographic competency, as well as the ability to negotiate a contract, ensuring your client's best interest are being protected above your own. Now, once you're able to conduct these tasks with little to no assistance from appointment to close, you qualify for the minimum split. And I've already gone over that. And you must complete LPT onboarding, competent negotiations quiz, and the 7-day automated boot camp assignment, all if you're part of the J Prime and you want to take advantage of these benefits. Here's some of the responsibilities: determination, confidentiality, amendments, governing law, and the term. So it's 12 months. A lot of people may decide after 2 years they'll remove themselves from the team, but they're still in my downline. So I'm obviously going to be able to help you with certain things. But again, the goal is to make you autonomous so you can do all this on your own. You don't necessarily need me to help. Now, if you this link will go out, you'll be able to watch some of these videos as well. This talks a little bit about me, my background, what I've done, everything from earning law degrees to being a helicopter instructor pilot and opening my own mortgage company and my mortgage school. We had the highest first-time pass rate in the state of Texas with the mortgage course back in 2007. We were recognized by the commissioner of Texas Savings Mortgage Lending because our pass rate was like 75% and the average for the state was like 52. So we were killing it. We just, the way I put together the course, again, was like if you needed to save your life and you needed to have a course to help you walk through and make sure you don't make any mistakes, that's how I designed the course. And as long as you followed it, you're going to kick butt and take names. That's how I designed this course. That's how I designed everything that you see, even though this is, you know, the mentoring program. This is our advanced coaching. This is everything you want, but I wanted everyone to be able to see when you join the team, this is what you're getting. And in addition to LPT, you get me, you get the team, you get accountability. And we talk a lot about all of that stuff in the mastermind. So make sure to watch this video. And we're also going to invite you to a mastermind. So from 10 to 10:45 on a Thursday, you'll get the link to that. You get to join and watch us maybe once or twice and then make a decision on whether you want to stay with us. But the key is to test drive this program, test drive LPT and J Prime Realty Group. If you want to do commercial, this is the best opportunity to learn it. No one's going to teach it to you, and at a level where you can get started and actually grow to your own company if you wanted to. And then the mastermind itself is fantastic for everyone that's in this industry. No matter whether you're a seasoned agent or not, you want the accountability. You want someone to bounce ideas off of. There's certain pitfalls that I've experienced that I can help you avoid. And so for all those reasons, it's definitely worth it to start with the team, test drive it. So it's like, don't burn any bridges with wherever you came from. I hate for anyone to switch and then be like, man, I really like the camaraderie of having someone's elbows to rub. Hey, I don't want you to burn that bridge because cloud brokers are a little bit different. My team, you do get to meet. We had meetings. We've made brokerages. We go to my events. So there's a lot of other things we can do together. We meet at steakhouses sometimes, but we just want a presence in a lot of the big cities here in Texas. And once we have that going on, of course, you can just keep growing your business as large as you want. And I will also help you recruit. And as I mentioned about the commercial real estate side, when I'm in town and you're one of those agents that's on my commercial team, you're going to be one of the people who gets those referrals from the people in the audience who are looking for someone to refer commercial business to because their brokerage won't let them. So with that, make sure that you get those links or check for those links that I'm going to send out where you can go back and watch these videos, read over this if you need. And this video right here is the one that's about 3 minutes long. Once you get this link, just go ahead and play it. And you can watch all the videos here. And it'll tell you exactly what to expect with LPT and our dynamic agents mastermind, as well as why we joined LPT and all the steps that you need to take. So if you're interested after that, all we really need you to do is basically just send us a thumbs up saying, yes, I'm in. Let's test drive. Yep, I'm good to go for the test drive, something like that, G to G for the test drive. And then I'll basically submit your information to our corporate recruiters. They will send out an ICA. The ICA will say, make sure you put this person's name in this spot as your sponsor. And once you've done that, you put my name in there, you get added as a team member as well. I'll take that information. I'll already know if you want to be a team member, I'll know exactly what to send to them. So they send the ICA agreement, and then I'll also send a team agreement. You sign both of those. Now you're on the team, you're part of LPT. And the onboarding process takes about 24 hours. And then you start with the team, you get the mastermind material, and from there, you're off to the races. We don't slow down. It's a 52-week mastermind. You start day one at your pace because we're not going to tell you how fast to go or how slow to go, but we're going to give you guidelines. And it's up to you on what you do within those guidelines. But follow the guidelines. You're good to go. Move at your pace. And that's what this is all about. So with that, I'll sign out here. But expect those links and in your email. Keep an eye out. And you should have received all that stuff whenever you attend one of my events or anything like that. We're going to make sure to send this stuff out to you guys. But hopefully you like what you've seen and you're willing to do the test drive. If nothing else, make a decision to join, learn something from me. And if not, maybe we have a coaching opportunity available too, because I do coach agents. So if you're thinking I love where I am and I don't want to test drive, let's talk about coaching. We can go that route as well. But I'm really looking for team members that I can train because a lot of times the coaching fees that I charge are a little bit exorbitant. And I don't want people complaining about it. If you're serious about it, you will pay. You tend to pay attention to what you pay for. It seems like the cheaper I charge, the more static I get from people about stuff. Someone spends $5,000, they've convinced themselves it was worth it. They like what I had to say. They spent the $5,000 and they don't complain. I charge $59 and they complain more than someone who paid $5, even though they got 10 times as much material. So it's a lot easier if they join the team because I can then help you. I'm also always going to get a benefit because I get paid a portion of what you make, plus the rev share grows at the same time. So it just makes more sense. There's more of a unity and a union, which is what we need to make things work. Again, I'm Julian Jackson with J Prime Realty Group of LPT, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the team. See you soon.